Let's go. We ain't playing, y'all. We're going to get right into it. Christi, you there?
I am here.
What up, Christi? The co-host with the most.
Woo!
Hey, we're going to get right to it, sis. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Now and on the repeat, we got some good info for today. Breaking news today. What happened, sis? Go ahead.
Ooh, Trump was indicted by a
Oh, my
grand
goodness.
jury.
Wow.
Yep, and Chansley was let out of prison and sent to a halfway house.
That's the Q shaman, right?
Yep, that is the Q shaman.
And also, one more thing I want to add is the Restrict Act. We'll talk about that in a minute. Don't be distracted by these things happening in America, ladies and gentlemen. But real quick, main talking point right now is Trump being indicted. Okay, remember, tell your dumb family and Trump hater friends that thank them for some of this, right? Biden lovers, but Trump's not guilty. It's innocent until proven guilty. He's indicted. That don't mean that he's guilty. Sis, give us some facts about this whole situation. He's the first president, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. Give me the info on this situation. What about everybody in the chat?
First ex-president or president to ever be indicted on criminal charges. And I know that we talked about it. You know, the thing that boils my blood is you've got Clinton, who lied under oath,
Right.
who had extramarital affairs while in office and lied under oath, which is
Wow.
perjury, which is a crime. And then you had, Richard Nixon with Watergate, and the list just goes on and on. But, they're on the witch hunt for Trump and think that this is going to be a huge distraction and going to better them, but it's not.
I'm going to ask the crowd right now, the chat, do you stand with Trump? Let us know, y'all, yes or no. Basically, hey, thank you, sis, for the super chat. Let's go. That's the sis right there. That's Bay LA. Who is that again, sis? That's
Britt.
Britt Wolf. God bless you, sis. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it broke all over Twitter. Everybody's going to go live tonight. But let's be honest, y'all. I just want to say this real quick. Before we delve into more of the situation with Trump, right? It's like a 34 charge indictment. I forgot what it is. The charges have not been actually released. Some are saying they might even be misdemeanors, no felonies. We don't know. I got some info. We'll get to it in a minute. But I just want to say this, y'all. Do not be distracted, okay? The Restrict Act. I got a video from Wake Up with Linda. They've been on it. They're using the banning of TikTok to push this Restrict Act, which is basically the Patriot Act, where they can watch us and monitor us online. It's all bad, y'all. So let's not be distracted with this Trump situation, which is big news, but there's a lot of things happening. The dollar, China and Brazil no longer using the dollar. Who else is going to follow suit? The dollar's going to fall. When? Okay, the dollar's falling. The Ukraine situation, the school shootings, all this other stuff, y'all. It's just like a whole plethora of stuff that either they want to distract you from or distract you with. Okay, Christi, let's get back to Trump. Go ahead.
I just want to add one thing to what you said. So with the train derailments, there was another one today. Also, 2 miles, or I'm sorry, not 2 miles, 2 hours upriver from where my niece lives, there was a huge barge spill where toxins over, I can't remember, 400,000 gallons of toxins have now been dumped in the Ohio River and will be floating her way. And yeah, we've got lots going on and lots that needs to be dissected.
Wow, this is crazy, y'all. So let's get back to Trump, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, it just broke today. Twitter is on fire, y'all. Twitter is just crazy right now with this situation. We got some word from DeSantis. Florida will not assist in the extradition of President Trump. I don't know if he's trying to save face or he's just trying to do the right thing, but, shout out to DeSantis for making a good move. What do you think about that, sis? I know you're not too favorable about him.
I don't stand for deep state DeSantis at all. So, I think that we're just being thrown up lots of charades right now, and we've just got to put on our blinders and keep moving.
Amen. Okay, this is from Trump's True Social Post. These thugs and radical left monsters have just indicted the 45th president of the United States of America and the leading Republican candidate. Don't forget that. By far, for the 2024 nomination for president. Wow, this is an attack on our country, the likes of which have never been seen before. It is likewise a continuing attack on our once free and fair elections. The USA is now a third world nation, a nation in serious decline. So sad. I mean, guys, look around. It's a crazy, sad situation where this nation is going. Shout out to the Trump haters and the Biden lovers. Who would have thought we'd be in this position right now? Inflation out the roof, the dollar bill fixing to fall. I mean, this is on its last leg, right? And then this with Trump, right? Is this political? We're gonna go to the guy that actually filed the charges. He's getting a lot of backlash on Twitter, and we're living in some dark times, y'all. It's getting worse and worse. Of course, we're Christians. Christ is Lord, but we got to be aware of what's happening in the land that we are on and live in. Go ahead, sis.
So, some of these comments, in the chat, we've got some really awesome comments that really get your mind thinking. Like Larry just posted, if he can be indicted, think about all that can be indicted, the domino effect. And that is true. Everybody needs to be held accountable now. Everybody. And not just one-sided either.
Well, let's be honest though. I just want to I don't play devil's advocate, but I got to say this though. Will everybody else be indicted though, the way they do our guy? And then think about it, y'all. What do y'all think in the chat, everybody? Is this politically motivated? Are they doing this to basically get Trump out of running? Again, he's indicted. They don't mean that he's convicted. Let's get that clear. But
this just sealed it for him. It just sealed the election.
Is that what you think, sis?
He will be our next president. Yep.
A lot of people are saying that on Twitter.
I think my sister made a comment today. She was like, I hope the streets are jam-packed with people in support of Trump.
Wow.
It is absolutely just unreal what they're doing to this man. They did it to him this whole presidency.
What's that? What did you say? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Last part.
I said they did it to him this whole presidency. Yeah. Whenever he diagnosed with COVID, it showed him working the entire time. I mean, they were just always on a witch hunt for him. And people are waking up, though. All you got to do is turn on TikTok, and you see all the people that are waking up.
Hallelujah. We got a clip right here from, of course, CNN. We're going to play their stuff. We don't care. We use it for content. But check this out, y'all. Let's go.
And I am told by my sources that this is 34 counts of falsification of business records.
Wow.
Which is probably a lot of charges involving each document, each thing that was submitted as a separate count in a couple of matters.
So 34 is 34, right?
34 counts of falsification of business records, which is probably a lot of charges involving each document, each thing that was submitted as a separate count.
Isn't this ridiculous? 34 counts? What about Hunter Biden? What about Joe Biden, ladies and gentlemen? Do I got to keep bringing it up? What the hell?
A man that is crack is against the law. A man that is smoking it on videos and nothing is being done. There has been proven ties between Biden and Ukraine.
Yes.
I mean,
come on. The drug use is one thing, sis, but what they're doing is wild, right? Let's get back over here. What else do I have over here? Go ahead, sis.
You know what? I mean, I here's my question, and maybe I'm just not understanding like all the legal jargon with all this, but if I did something and I want to keep it quiet and I pay somebody, that's against the law. I could understand if it was a true crime, like if I was involved in a violent crime or something truly illegal, but him having relations with her, and then even if he did offer her hush money, that's against the law.
I don't know. They're saying he's falsifying documents. I don't know what they're going to do to him, but I'm going to be honest real quick. It don't say nothing about a felony. So are these misdemeanors? Or what are these? Again, y'all, they've yet to release the actual charges. I think they might even say it might happen next week, but we got a feeling it's going to be leaked sooner or later. But what do y'all think, y'all? Do y'all think Trump got the F? Did he get some felonies? Or you think that they're getting them with misdemeanor, pointless misdemeanors? This is the guy right here, y'all. He's not very popular. Alvin Bragg. He's basically the guy that's, pushing these charges on Trump. Broke today. Breaking news. Crazy. Go ahead, sis.
I don't think that he'll see a minute of jail time out of it. I think that he'll be found not guilty, and that's what I'm claiming.
Okay, this is from Alvin Bragg. This is for immediate release. It says, this evening, we contacted Mr. Trump's attorney to coordinate his surrender to the Manhattan DA's office for arraignment on a Supreme Court indictment, which remains under seal. Guidance will be provided when the arraignment date is selected. Wow. So that's all the info we got on actual charges, y'all. Again, they have not dropped them yet. We don't know what's going to happen. sad times. Sis, it's everything from the shootings to the weak dollar I mean, come on, sis, the economy. I mean, there's so much on our
People
plate
can't
right
even
now.
afford eggs. People can't even afford gas and eggs.
It's bad right now. So again, we are going to stand with Trump. Here's Ron DeSantis. This from Brother Bryson tweeted this. The weaponization of the legal system to advance a political agenda turns the rule of law on its head. It's un-American. The Soros-backed Manhattan district attorney, has consistently bent the law to downgrade felonies and to excuse criminal misconduct. Yet now he is stretching the law to get a political opponent. Good point, right? They'll free you or not arrest you for certain charges, but they'll go for Trump, though. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. We're not dumb. We see right through this crap. Florida would not assist in extradition requests given the questionable circumstances. Wow, they're doubting it. At issue with the Soros-backed Manhattan prosecutor and his political agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a time that it's exciting to be alive and to witness this. Again, Twitter has just blown up. Everybody's talking about this. We want to bring it down and rear you back into not being distracted because there's other things happening. But sis, final words on this situation before we move on to the next subject. Let's go.
I mean, you know how much that I've always said that I wouldn't stand with, and I call him the Satanist, but that I wouldn't stand with him. I think that there are cases that he tries to do the right thing, but I think he's already kind of got wrapped up in the looking pretty for the cameras, and I've always called him a white Obama.
Wow.
I think that, he looks like he's trying to do the right thing here. Hopefully he does.
Okay. And real quick, shout out Hefe says Mexico president called out the USA crazy. I'm gonna be honest. The Mexican president, right? I think he's like a Trumper, right? This guy never wanted to turn over to Biden at a certain point. He didn't even want to admit, when Trump was still trying to fight for his position. But salute Mexico, salute the Mexican people, the Mexican citizens, the president of Mexico. I got a newfound respect for that guy. I like him, but the point is, I said it on my live earlier, sis. Why would any country like us? Let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. We are leading the charge for degeneracy in a wicked downfall in society. Let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. We are not the beacon of light and freedom and morality, right? The moral beacon or compass of the world no longer. Our money's basically worthless. We are putting perverts in charge of situations and trusting leaders that are wicked and deceitful. I mean, we're a nation that's turning our back on God. I mean, there's so many strikes against us. It's no surprise that Mexico president called out the USA. It's no surprise that Putin don't like us. It's no surprise that we are on the decline and our money is basically worthless and people are shooting up schools. All this weird stuff happening. The media is lying to us. Y'all, are we modern day Babylon? Christians were saying that on my Instagram earlier, and I have to somewhat agree with them at this point. What's going on? Go ahead, sis. Final word before we go to the next subject. Let's go.
I just to reiterate once again what you said, we have woke organizations and corporations that put more pride and emphasis on rainbow organizations and people and teachers that are indoctrinating our children than they do on the moral fiber of what's needed. Wow. And it's sickening. And like some comments, and I'm not going to say them here because we have to baby our YouTube. But some of the comments some of the comments that are going through here, I completely agree that the time is coming.
Wow. And yes, shout out whoever had made that comment. We agree with you. Rio says the president also called out the Jays in our government. Let's go. I need to catch that clip. Rio, let me know. Rio, he's a moderator, y'all, and he's going to be filling in for Christi every now and then, or even jumping on with us on the call. So y'all, when Rio gets on here, let's give him a warm welcome, y'all. He's still trying to get his feet wet and trying to get with us, sis. So we need to kind of help train him up to be a co-host. So shout out, brother Absolutely. Rio. Awesome point he just made right there. I need to check that clip out. Very interesting. Is it the same president that held up Obama's hand? Is that the same guy, y'all? You remember that when he held up Obama's hand? Was that the president of Mexico, or who was that? That was the president of some foreign nation, and he held up Obama's hand. That was so pathetic. So pathetic. But let's get back to what I wanted to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, right here. Boom. This is what I wanted to say, because we need to be the same way, y'all. We need to be diligent, and we need to not be distracted. DC Drano pointed this out. A lot of people have been pointing this out. Ukraine is losing. Banks are collapsing, right? Train derailments, record inflation and unaffordable homes. Trans terrorists killed Christian children. What do you do to distract the country? indict President Trump. Let's go. You know, like, y'all, this right here to me is a big time distraction. Everybody's talking about it on Twitter. But the point is, there's a lot of things to talk about on Twitter or on social media. But again, y'all, let's not let this distract us from other things that are happening. Case in point, the Restrict Act. Okay, basically the Patriot Act for the internet. Sis, you have any details on that before I go to the next slide?
So I am not well versed on this. I do know that I've watched a lot of Linda and Bella's information on it, and they break it down. Yeah, they break it down so well. And what this does is this gives the Biden administration complete and utter control of the internet, of speech, of everything.
A lot of things, sis. And let me go ahead and Google it because I had it up on my screen. I might not have it right now, but I'm going to go ahead and pull it up right now, ladies and gentlemen. We need to keep our eye on this because it's very bad. They said there's two bills. We'll talk about that in a minute, but the Restrict Act S.686 is proposed legislation that was first introduced in the United States Senate on March 7th, 2023, to authorize the Secretary of Commerce to review and prohibit certain transactions between persons in the United States, okay, and foreign adversaries, and for other purposes. And probably the most important part, right, sis, and for other purposes. What the hell is going on?
Somebody just commented that it was rock. She said, they've been spying on us. Now they're just telling us they've been spying on us.
Let's go. I even said on my live earlier, I said, hey, we were blaming China all this time. It was actually our own government. We haven't talked about Waco. Sis, we haven't talked about Waco. My wife is so pissed about Waco. Every time she sees
I've been pissed.
Thank you. A documentary about Waco, she tells me the same thing, y'all. Look, it's not illegal to be a cult member, but my wife has a newfound respect for David Koresh, y'all. C40 Fizzle in the building, y'all. For real, because I'm going to tell you something. Look, she said that he was more, and I'm going on a tangent real quick, but David Koresh was more composed than the FBI agents. They basically kept, messing up the situation they had, lying to him. They were playing wicked music of cats dying and children crying and all kinds of weird sound effects all night to the compound where he couldn't even sleep at night. They, the fires. I mean, there's so much wickedness and stuff about the corrupt FBI in this whole situation with the ATF that, man, my wife, every time they happen, she explained to me earlier, she watched a new documentary on Netflix and she's pissed, y'all, because she kind of believes that this guy, they were basically having their compound, not hurting nobody, and say what you want, but his women, the parents signed over the children to marry him. It was all legal in Texas at the time. So basically the point is this. The Waco situation should have showed you, and the Ruby Ridge situation before that should have showed you that we are not to trust these people in these positions of power. I got to be careful. Go ahead, sis, before I move on to this clip. Go ahead.
Nino, I was just going to say, whenever you look back at things like Scientology and the people that have been involved with it that come out and talk about how they were brainwashed and how it was such an awful thing and things like that, but didn't realize it at the time. There has never, and I have researched this a lot.
Same thing.
There has never been a ill remark said about David Koresh and his teachings and things like that he was very peaceful. There was nothing violent. If he did marry these children, then he has to answer to God for that.
Amen.
And we don't agree with or support anything against children. But what they did to him, I'm telling you, and people get mad at me and dislike me. I have been a Waco supporter since all this happened. Whenever I started learning what they did to him, how they tormented him, you can't have it both ways. You can't say that this is okay and that this isn't okay. You know what I'm saying? You can't say, for religion and we know what we stand for, but these people in power and stuff like that, if they're telling us that we can't discriminate and we can have Satanists and rainbows and everybody walking around us, they can't say that he can't do what he wants to for his religious beliefs, and they tormented the man.
Good point. And to be honest, sis, my wife said the same thing. They couldn't really find nobody talking bad about him, the survivors, and that they liked it there. They were a compound of working men and women. They were out in the public. They went back to that house. They ate together, broke bed together. They had like a little pond. The kids played on four-wheelers or something, golf carts. Like from what my understanding is, the more and more I hear about Waco, I'm thinking more and more that our government betrayed the people. I digress, y'all. We'll do a show about that later. We're gonna get back to this, sis, and it's an interesting topic. Me and Chrissy, the MAGA brother and sister, we're some Waco lovers too. So let's go. Anyways,
Yep, let's go.
let's get to it. So here's Wake Up with Linda. I actually texted Bella, her co-pilot, but I'm pretty sure they're getting their show ready. I asked if they can call in to explain some of this. They didn't, but hopefully we'll get them on later. Basically, the Restrict Act. Linda has been on a tear about TikTok, and to be honest, she helped change my mindset about TikTok because we made videos of how wicked TikTok is or was. But the point is, y'all, she's saying that she thinks that basically there is no proof that China is doing the wicked things that they claim they are, right? But let's look at it and be honest. Our own government's doing it to us, right? So the point is this, though. My whole stance on TikTok has changed due to the censorship on all these other platforms. TikTok, hey, I get banned over there every now and then, but my reach over there is crazy compared to these other platforms, y'all. So like Linda said, her business does good on TikTok. Her numbers do good on TikTok. She actually supports TikTok. And to be honest, I've changed my mindset on TikTok too. And now this thing to ban TikTok with the Restrict Act has got her up in arms about it. They're more versed about this, but like I said, I'm going to play this clip. Before I do, Christy, what are your thoughts about TikTok? Has she helped change your mindset as well? Go ahead.
It's made not a lot, and I'm just being honest. It hasn't changed my mind a lot on TikTok, and this is why. But here's what it has done. It's made me use some critical thinking because regardless, we know that TikTok, it's been proven, they've admitted it, that they use embedded chips to break into your phones and all this. But is it China doing it, or is it the United States doing it?
Ooh. That's a whole, and really, I want to get with the ladies and talk to them about this. Hopefully, we can get them on the show later on, and we'll do like some kind of a program together to explain this to the people. Linda's all about TikTok. She thinks she's kind of already like pointing out what's happening with this Restrict Act. I'm gonna play the video, then I'm gonna go to the two separate bills. There's two bills we need to pay attention to. One's good, one's bad. We'll get to that. Here goes Linda. Wake Up with Linda, y'all. This is probably the biggest. This is the biggest Latina MAGA Trump supporter. She's a C45er and everything, y'all. She's the biggest one, I think, of them all. There's a Luna. What's her name? Paula Luna. I forgot her name. There's certain people in the MAGA movement that are pretty big. I think she's probably the most influential Latin, Hispanic influencer besides Bella, her partner, the Red Pill Babe. Here's Linda, y'all. Let's see what she has to say.
Tagged me in videos and posts about the TikTok ban, and a lot more people are starting to gain awareness of what the ban really means. It doesn't actually mean just banning TikTok. It means Joe Biden and the federal government having control over the entire internet, and it's going to affect Bitcoin and it's going to affect e-commerce. It literally states it on the bill. And if you try to use a VPN to bypass the ban of any app, you could literally get fined and go to jail. And it gives the authority to Joe Biden to classify anyone as a foreign adversary or as a foreign threat.
Wow.
And your Fourth Amendment is removed and you can go to jail without due process. Yeah, this is worse than the Patriot Act. It's a digital Patriot Act on steroids, and people need to read the bill before falling for right-wing propaganda. I see that a lot of
and
you
we
guys
are basically, sending the message as well. I'm warning my people. Look, of course, Trump being indicted, horrible. It's going to be on news all day and night. But don't forget about the, I will say Patriot Act, but it's called the Restrict Act. I'm going to go to the actual, there's two bills. But go ahead, Christy, your thoughts on what Linda just said. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I completely agree with her. I don't think that, any of our constitutional rights should be allowed to be removed for any reason. I mean, that's the foundation of what we are. And, she's got a lot more information on it than I do. I don't necessarily, like I said, I don't necessarily agree with the content that I see on TikTok, but at the same time, I do not believe that people that want to use it should be censored.
Okay.
And that goes along with our constitutional rights. If you want to use TikTok, I use it. I mean, I'm not even going to lie about it. I do. I get frustrated on there just because I don't like some of the stuff that I run across. But I don't think that people that want to should ever be restricted.
Amen. And that's the point, like she said. Basically, they are trying to, push this in there, in the guise of banning TikTok, right? Like they use that. That's how slick they are, right? They use the TikTok to go in there and do crazier, more wicked things, right? So let's go back to this bill, y'all. I'm gonna pull up what I got right now, and here we are. Boom, let's go. All right. So this is everyone needs to hear about the Restrict Act. This bill is also currently known as a TikTok ban by many, but it looks like we've been deceived again. The TikTok ban is nothing but a distraction while they try to push the Restrict Act into law. So this right here, man, I can't even read this. So it's gonna be kind of hard. There's a better bill if I can find it. Let's see here. Someone else is calling it out. The Restrict Act would allow the feds to access all the data on our devices, including Ring and home security apps. And it'll be a crime to use a privacy device, kind of what Rio said, and Linda. If you use a VPN, they will punish you. There's a better one. This is one I wanted right here. Boom, the Restrict Act. I got it right here, ladies and gentlemen. This basically right here, if I can move this around. Okay, the Senate bill and the House bill. They say there's two that are good. The Senate bill says, okay, the Senate bill is this: a Digital Patriot Act to punish and control Americans. Gives the government free reign to censor information and go after anyone. Lets the government access everything, your computers, video games, and even ring lights. I guess the government figured out that TikTok supposedly did it so good, they wanted their own form of TikTok, right? They're going to do the same thing, sis. Allows.
Well,
Go ahead.
Biden's IRS 65,000 employee thing got shot down, so he's looking for another thing.
Oh, thank God. I'm glad to hear that part. Allows the government to deem any foreign country or an adversary without telling Congress. Guys, wow. If the feds deem you violated the rules, they can sentence you up to 20 years in jail. Rio, you see this? Make you pay $1 million in fines and take away your property. Oh, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that, sis. Wow.
Completely eliminating the checks and balances system.
Wow. Okay, here's the House bill. No TikTok on U.S. Devices Act. Bans TikTok on U.S. government phones and devices. Requires a DNI report on the threats to U.S. national security posed by TikTok, including the ability of the CEOs access U.S. of user data and personal information, the CCP's use of U.S. data for intelligence or military purpose like surveillance, micro-targeting, deepfakes, or blackmail, efforts by Chinese government to spy on American citizens using the data access via TikTok. Guys, what the hell happened here? Okay, the House bill, I can get behind that, right? Basically, limit China, whatever. That sounds good. That sounds like a TikTok, maneuver right there. Hey, you know what? Keep it on your phones. Nothing on the government, whatever. But this Restrict Act from the Senate, what the hell's going on, sis? This is like like you said, a Patriot Act, a Digital Patriot Act, sis. Why the hell would they do this? Which we know the answer. Can you believe this? It's like totally different bills.
Once you start eliminating the checks and balances system, then you've got people like that. You got people like Biden that can do whatever they want with foreign countries and keep padding their pockets.
Wow, Rio's right.
Just like Ed said, the biggest brother ever.
I was gonna
Big
say,
brother.
They ODing in my Rio voice. They ODing, and like Ed said, the biggest brother ever. Our own people. That's what I said on my live earlier. I said, you know what? Who would have thought, right? It always happens like this. You always think, right, when you're beefing, right, that it's the people across the tracks, even the cartels, the different cartels. No, it's always your own people, your own team that snake you. So, like, that's why I brought up Waco. That's why I brought up Ruby Ridge. I heard, to be honest, a guy that does awesome videos. I want to interview him one day, hopefully. They said basically in the 60s is when everything went to crap, ladies and gentlemen. Look at from the assassination of JFK going this way. They've been deceiving us and lying to the American people since the 60s, y'all. Start from the 60s to now, and I'm telling you, from the music, from everything that they've done, y'all, it's all messed up. I'm going to give you a little quick tidbit of what I've been kind of working on and thinking about. The Beatles, fake. All these bands from that era were basically placed in positions. They used studio musicians to push these people. Look at the documentaries. One's called what's it called? I forgot what it's called, but there's a documentary about this whole situation. And if you think about it, the music from today till then, it's the same thing. Push filth, push a certain narrative, push a certain kind of music, drug culture, whatever, to the masses, and then you control them. So from the Beatles to the musicians of today, y'all, the government has been involved in a bunch of secret operations, right? Tavistock, look it up. They've been involved in a bunch of secret operations to control the masses by the media, especially with music, okay? We'll be touching on that later on, y'all, but it gets deep. From the 60s till now, don't trust these people, y'all. It's wicked. Go ahead, sis.
I mean, I just agree with everything you said. We've been duped for so long, and we're sheep for so long that I mean, definitely I started waking up about 3.5, 4 years ago, and to everything going on around me, and just have just, I don't know. It just makes you wonder,
Very much so.
what really is going on. Yep.
It's wild.
Yep.
Okay, so keep an eye on the Restrict Act, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't go, off the trails, or it doesn't OD like Rio said. But let's get to the next one, since this is very important. China and Brazil have reached a deal to trade in their own currencies, ditching the US dollar. Okay, so what does this mean, y'all? Basically, the dollar is going to be devalued more and more. If more nations join them, right? My wife didn't even know that Russia is neighbors to China. It's like America and Canada, right? Basically, what if Russia jumps in there, y'all? What if these other countries start doing this and basically turning their back on us? And like I said earlier, why would they back us, sis? Uganda, all these other nations, even, Putin, I believe he's probably a stout, devout Catholic Christian, whatever he is. Why would they want to back us? Why would they want to back America, which some believe is a modern, the day and age of the Babylon, right? Modern day Babylon. Why would they want to back us? Y'all think about that. Why would any nation want to back us or salute us or respect us when we got these heathen in charge, these wicked perverts running amok, and all the filth that America pushes out? Y'all think about it. Let's be honest. I love my country, but I got to be completely honest with my people, y'all. I'm not proud of the filth and trash that my country has been promoting, especially in the last 2-3 years, y'all. Go ahead, sis.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's wild what's happening in this day and age. But like I said, sis, if they do this, if Brazil and China, they're leading the way, if they do this and everybody else follows suit, what is going to happen to the U.S. dollar, y'all? I mean, it's not even backed by gold anymore. Basically, the U.S. dollar is worthless. Go ahead.
You know that Panera Bread is now offering the same thing that Amazon One does, which is palm scanning.
Wow. Doesn't it all lead that way?
Yep. And it's not a chip. It is literally just scanning the veins in the palm of your hand, which are individual to each person. Even identical twins don't have the same palm veining. And yeah, this was just 2 days ago. It's all leading to the exact same thing. One world order.
That's exactly what somebody said on the internet too. They said that they're going to be able to track us. They're going to be able to track us even more better. So let's get back to this part, y'all. This Andrew, whatever, he says, breaking China and Brazil have agreed to trade in their own currencies, ditching the U.S. dollars. If more countries start to trade in their own currencies, it could reduce the demand for the dollar. This could lead to a weaker dollar. Of course, when will it fall, y'all? Here's everything you need to know. And he goes into a thread here. And China and Brazil have agreed to conduct their trade and financial transactions using their own currencies, ditching the U.S. dollar as an intermediary. They will be exchanging yuan for reais and vice versa instead of going through the U.S. dollar. This is part of China's efforts to reduce its reliance on the U.S. dollar. And we always say we want to, reduce our reliance on them. They did the exact same thing to us, y'all. As the world's major reserve currency and to promote the use of its own currency, the yuan or whatever it's called, China is Brazil's biggest trading partner, with two-way trading hitting over 150 billion last year. The deal is expected to reduce costs, promote greater bilateral trade, and facilitate investment. China has similar currency deals with Russia and Pakistan. My personal opinion is that China does not have a transparent central banking system. Go ahead, sis. Wow.
I don't even know what else can say about it. Like, we have allowed ourselves to become this weak country, and the rest of the world knows it. I mean, like Hefe said, people are laughing at us. I mean, we are I don't know, we're laughed at, we're tormented, we're talked about. And is we're not weak if we're unified, but we've got just too much talk and not enough action, and I'm not saying anymore.
Wow. Again, y'all, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer on here, but I just want to show you what we are up against. The economy. I mean, come on, y'all. We keep working and working and working, and we're tired. I'm a tired man. The other day, some guy was telling me on the live that I looked like I was on drugs. Man, that's what it looks like when you've been working in the oil field for so many years and you ain't got much sleep. You know what I mean? You ain't looking the most, pepped up. You know what I mean? That was old Carlos Jones, sis, our number one fan. But anyways, we're tired, y'all. How much more are we working? How much more is our dollar worth nothing? Think about it. Let's just be honest. Pull $100 out of your billfold. is it worth what it used to be worth? Haven't you noticed?
Nope.
I that's what my wife did today. Well, it's $100. It really ain't nothing. Not even because we're oil field ballers, whatever. $100 don't get you nowhere nowadays. $100 don't get you squat nowadays. What's going to happen when it gets more and more weaker? Go ahead.
I mean, and if you just really the people that say those types of things, think about the warped world they live in anyway. They're the people that when you break things down, we are taxed to go work our job. We give the government money to work. Then to go buy the items that we need to live, water, food, basic necessities, we're taxed on those things also. I mean, everything is backwards. And I'm when Jesus is ready, I am ready.
Amen. And real quick, let's be honest, y'all. It's like the post that goes around the internet lately, like, don't use your card. I love using cash. Shoot, look at my billfold, y'all. I ain't trying to flex on these boys, but I got nothing but cash up in here. Straight up. I love using cash. And I'm gonna tell you something real quick. Why? Because I seen the meme in the post. Whenever you use a card, you're being taxed every transaction.
Yep.
Money, right? You're not being taxed every transaction. There's fees according to these debit cards and credit cards. They want you to be stuck in that, a state of debt and depression, I would say, and oppression. Because think about it. There's no emotional attachment when you slide that card. You don't feel it. Look, I'm gonna show you something. Look, when I pull 100 out, I feel it. When I pull another 100 out, I feel it. When I pull a 20 out, I feel it. There's an emotional attachment. I'm pulling something physical and giving it over for a service rendered. But when you swipe that card, ladies and gentlemen, when you swipe that card, you don't feel it. That's what I learned in Dave Ramsey's class at my church. It makes a lot of sense. There's no emotional attachment to a piece of plastic. And that's why they want to do that. But what?
Can you close that wallet?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm closing my. But real quick.
Can
you close it? No, it's hard. I'm hard to close this wallet. It's a whole field wallet. Hey, my bad, y'all. Hey, but the point is this though. Check it out. There's no emotional attachment when you slide that card. But what's going to happen when you have it on your palm, sis, or your forehead? You're probably not even going to think. Ain't it weird?
Know what, Nino?
Go ahead.
They don't. If you have a chip in your palm or your forehead, you can't think anyway. Right. I told you about my friend that I'd had since high school that we're not friends any longer, said that he is all for the chip. He said how cool it would be to be able to open up his garage door while sitting on the couch. I said, your fat butt can't, I didn't say the word butt. I said, your fat butt can't get up and go open the garage door without a chip in your hand. Like, people that would do that are ungodly and immoral anyway. It's a mark of the beast.
Sis, I honestly believe we're like that movie Wall-E, I think, where they're just fat people driving around in little, hoverboard, little recliners.
Yep.
And they don't do nothing but just they hover all day in the recliner. I didn't really watch that movie, but I remember that's always in my head of just a big overweight American in a recliner, you know what I'm saying, just being fed and not having to do nothing, just obese, It's sad, y'all. Like,
everybody wants the easy button.
Yes, and that's not how we're old-fashioned, ladies and gentlemen. We're old-fashioned, and we don't apologize for that. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we just gave an awesome show. I believe, keep an eye on the Patriot / the Restrict Act. Hopefully the good one gets passed. Trump got indicted. He's not guilty, but he was indicted. They are not having arrested him. I think this is going to happen next week. He's going to turn himself in. DeSantis said he's not going to cooperate. Thank God. We'll salute him on that. Even a blind dog will catch a bone every now and then. And what else is? Brazil and China are ditching the U.S. dollar. They have a deal with Russia and Pakistan to do the same. Our dollar's getting weaker. But that's why our faith must become stronger. So with that, y'all, I'm going to give you the final words. Christi, and real quick, y'all, they just dropped the awesome video, my testimony. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up, sis. Go ahead and give final words, sis, while I pull up this video that they just dropped about my testimony of me converting from gangs and drugs to Christ. Go ahead, sis. Final words.
The testimony video is amazing, and I just think that we all have to keep doing what we're doing, staying strong. We can't stand for this. We have to make the change in our local communities like we've talked about a million times. And we have to stand up to this filth. I mean, we just have to. Amen. And that's all I have to say about it. Like, it's emotionally draining for me to see what we're all going through. It seriously is.
And sis, how's your business going? You're launching that pretty soon, right?
I am launching that really, really soon, getting all the final details together and some more paperwork. But definitely will be talking about that. I refuse to be a pawn in this 9 to 5 world anymore. Was I blessed? Was I blessed there for a while of, having great insurance and having a great income? Absolutely. If you really start opening your eyes to the opportunities that are out there, then it's life is just so much bigger than this corporate greed.
Amen. Real quick, we stand with Trump too, Carolina girl. God bless you. And look what Hefe says. My son, God bless him. He does Obeka homeschool. My wife does. She don't want to put him in school next year. He kind of said he wanted to go to meet friends. My wife said, no, we're not going to risk it. My son's so pure and innocent, y'all. We're not going to put him in school, public school next year, because this little kid is a little Nino, little King James Bible, rainbow. You know how we are. He's with the MAGA Christian business, y'all, and we don't want to pollute him in the public school system. And real quick, I asked my wife the other day, I said, why don't our schools teach us, like Hefe said, grow your own food? How come we don't learn about taxes, about building a business, having good credit, which, to be honest, we really don't want to have credit because that means you have debt. But you know what I mean, y'all? Why don't they show us about finances? My son said, well, Dad, why don't you show me about taxes? I said, son, I am. You're going to actually run a business, I would hope, when you get older. My son already knows, y'all. So why don't the schools show us that, y'all? Why don't they show us about things that we actually need, stuff that we can apply to our lives? Growing food. Why ain't these the main things we learn? They want to indoctrinate us with the filth. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and go to this is what I want to show y'all. If I can pull it up real quick, the actual video. This is pretty good. It just came through, y'all. So we're gonna pump it up right here. This one's called it's a Kingdom podcast. It's the brothers podcast that came and interviewed me. Shoot, look at the reels, y'all. 2 hours ago, 850 views. He got 30 subscribers, y'all. Go check him out, y'all. The Kingdom Podcast. Brother Mark was here the other day, proclaiming Jesus is Lord. That's my short he put of me, 850 views. 3 hours ago, 2,000 views almost on this short about the gang member that choked me, my best friend. I talked about that. 1.1 thousand views in 3 hours, y'all. He only has 30 subscribers, y'all. My brother Mark, that we're dropping a movie pretty soon. And then here's my video, y'all, right here. Oh, where's it at? Right here. From gangs to drugs. You see that, y'all? If y'all get a chance, check him out. He got 20 views already. He just dropped it today, 3 hours ago. That's my testimony. We recorded it back here in the Trump cave. Christi, how good was it? I'm going to do a review. I'm going to do an actual walkthrough, and I'm going to post the whole video on my channel, but I'm going to do a reaction to it because I say a lot of things in there, and I want to go in there and do a reaction to it and kind of touch on the stuff that I'm saying. It was a pretty juicy interview, right, sis? Go ahead. Christi. Hold on, y'all. Sis, you there?
Can you hear me?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, sis.
Can you hear me?
Oh, you hear what I said, though? Yeah, I can hear you now.
No, what I was going to...
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I heard. Yeah, no, I heard everything. So, no, what I was going to say was I said that we were getting ready for the show, and I just started watching your testimony, and you called in. I was like, dang it, I was at the juicy part.
Yeah, right? It's pretty good, sis.
That testimony is amazing.
It did very good. It's right here, y'all. Gangs and drugs of Jesus Christ is basically my testimony. Man, it's I got teary-eyed watching it, y'all. I'm not gonna lie about it. So I'm gonna try to play a little bit right now. But again, if I get a chance, y'all, watch it, check it out. It's an awesome. If I can boom it down, I got it over here messed up. Let me see here. I want to show you just a little preview of it. Well, what am I doing over here, y'all? Yeah, right here. Boom. Well, I'm messing up over here, y'all. My bad. This was not part of the show. Gangs and drugs to Jesus Christ, Need America, my testimony, y'all. Check it out on the Kingdom Podcast. 34 subscribers. He's already doing numbers, y'all. So there's that, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, we just want to thank everybody real quick for joining us on this impromptu live. I told Christi we got to go live. Everybody's talking about it, y'all. Trump indicted, but let's not just keep focus on that. Let's focus on the distractions as well. The Restrict Act, the dollar being weakest, you know what, and from the school shootings. Sis, that's another thing we didn't even touch on. I forgot about it. But y'all, they are basically doing for the trans over the Christians. They are doing a trans, what I call it, sis, a transurrection in I forgot what state, but we'll probably talk about that later. But they're basically rallying up for the trans when Christians were actually killed, sis. Can you believe that?
No, it just does not. Like I said, everybody's pushing for, not everybody, but so many are pushing for this woke agenda, and it's absolutely disgusting. It's
horrible and wicked, like I said, but it don't surprise me. It don't surprise me that these people are actually doing for that community while the Christians that were murdered are not even talked about. But then again, let's be honest, there's a lot of weird things about the whole thing because we know it ends up trying to be a gun grab at the end of the day. So look at my Twitter, y'all. I shared some interesting opinion and some say facts about the whole shooting. I don't want to say it on here. You already catch my drift. It's wild. Who do you believe? What do you believe? I'll tell you what to believe. Believe that Christ died for your sins and rose again on the third day. That never changes. And with that, y'all, we got to get out of here. Dinner's awaiting. Christi, thank you so much, sis, for jumping on here. God bless y'all in the name of Christ our Lord. And remember, y'all, you're an American. You're a patriot. You got grit. Christi.
Act like it.
We're out, y'all. God bless y'all.